When a single short-form video can reach 5 million people with zero overhead and just a few hours of editing, the barrier to entry for digital influence has effectively disappeared. For many pages, Gen Z isn't a generation to lead, it's a high-frequency market to capture. This low cost of entry has saturated the internet with movements that appear organic. However, because these pages prioritize rapid growth over accuracy, they often champion causes simply to build a massive transferable follower base. To maintain that growth, they use a specific shortcut. By wrapping complex social issues in memes and high-energy edits, they bypass the slow process of logical reasoning and aim directly for an emotional reflex. This creates a cycle where outrage becomes the primary product. Because anger drives more shares than nuance, many of the movements you see are carefully curated instances of manufactured friction. The danger isn't just in the misinformation itself, but in the habit it builds. It trains users to react to emotional triggers instantly, leaving no room to check the source or the facts. When reaction happens before reflection, the youth stop being the drivers of the conversation. Instead, they become a predictable, monetizable audience for whoever can shout the loudest. Breaking this cycle requires a specific framework for evaluation. We can distinguish between a genuine call for awareness and a strategy for manipulation by looking at how they operate. First, look at the method. Manipulation relies on creating a now or never feeling, using anger and trend chasing to discourage you from looking at the bigger picture. Legitimate awareness campaigns function differently. They focus on the complexity of the problem and prioritize offering tangible, long-term solutions rather than just amplifying the noise. Next, check the metric of success. If a page only cares about loudness and demands unquestioning, rapid support, its primary goal is likely the accumulation of digital social capital. Transparent movements are different. They are open about who they are and what their specific, measurable goals look like beyond the comment section. Maintaining coordinated posting schedules and high-end production across multiple platforms requires significant resources. This makes it necessary to look at where a movement's funding comes from to see if a grassroots campaign is actually being directed by a central entity. Without verifying both the tactics and the money behind a movement, it's impossible to tell if you're joining a cause or simply participating in someone else's growth strategy. You can also find the truth by looking at how a movement speaks to you. The way a platform frames its followers reveals its actual intent. Manipulative creators treat you as a passive audience. Your role is strictly to consume, like, and share, serving as a metric that increases their influence. Genuine movements speak to you as a participant. They treat you as someone capable of independent thought and real-world action outside of the app. When we provide blind support without these distinctions, we hand over our collective voice to bad actors who can use it for their own gain without any accountability. Deciding whether you are a product to be sold or a partner in a cause is the first step towards taking back control of your digital life. Protecting yourself from these carefully designed traps requires shifting away from immediate emotional reactivity and towards intellectual independence. The algorithms that promote viral outrage are designed to thrive on your reflex to engage immediately. When you react without thinking, you provide the data points they need to spread further. Choosing to pause and conduct your own research breaks this chain. It replaces an automated emotional response with an informed decision. Check 3 things: the post's purpose, its funding source, and whether it offers a solution or just more anger. Applying these filters changes your role. Instead of relaying a manufactured narrative, you become a dead end, preventing its spread. You can follow anyone you find interesting, but the moment you stop questioning their motives is the moment you give up your autonomy. By keeping your thinking entirely your own, you stop being a predictable data point for an influencer's business model and start making choices based on your own research.